This is Vatican City, and the world's smallest sovereign state that spans just 49 acres in the heart of Rome. Millions stand in this square each year and gaze up at the Renaissance architecture and imposing dome. But what these people do not see is that the most fascinating parts and secrets are not at street level. They're down here. What you're looking at here is called the Vatican Grottos, and they're the first thing that reminds you that the Vatican is much more than just a church. This network of tunnels consists of chapels and burial chambers that sit directly beneath the main floor of St. Peter's Basilica. Just a few meters above here, thousands of tourists walk past every day, completely unaware of what's beneath their feet. This place is more than just a few dusty, dimly lit passageways. In fact, the grottos are the final resting place for over 90 popes, comprising of an underground cemetery within the church itself. Think about the symbolism here. Each new pope literally stands above the unbroken line of its predecessors, stretching back to nearly Peter himself. When a pope celebrates Mass at the altar, he's joined by nearly 2,000 years of his predecessors. But the symbolism is just part of it. Look at the craftsmanship here. These aren't just functional burial spaces. They're works of art in their own right. But they also represent something more mysterious. The physical manifestation of apostolic succession, direct line of authority Catholics believe extends from Peter to the current pope. But in contrast to the very clear and linear line of succession, the grottos are a mass jumble of mazes and corridors that seem to have no structure. But looks can be deceiving. You see, the grottos follow the foundation structure of the old St. Peter's Basilica, which was the church that stood here before the current Renaissance Basilica was built. And this prior church holds yet more secrets many thought were long forgotten. Before St. Peter's Basilica, there was this church. Known as Constantine's Basilica, it was built in 324 by Roman Emperor Constantine over the site of what early Christians believed was the gravesite of St. Peter himself. But this church almost didn't happen, which would mean what we know today as the Vatican would have disappeared if the Romans couldn't solve this problem. For you see, when Constantine's engineers began preparing the foundation of the site, they faced an extraordinary challenge. Just underneath the ground by St. Peter's grave was a vast Roman necropolis, or underground burial site. Inside this necropolis were rows upon rows of elaborate family tombs lining an ancient road called the Via Cornelia. And while it might seem like a modern concept, even back then, people were interested in